Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to Anime Beast. I'm thrilled to have you here with me today for another exciting video. In today's video, we're diving deep into the most requested anime series, Kamikatsu, Working for God in a Godless World. Whether you're a seasoned viewer or new to the channel, I guarantee you're in for a treat. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right into it. Episode 1. The first scene of the anime shows a large group of massive men carrying a teenage boy named Yukito, who is the son of their leader. They are taking him to the river to drown him so that he can reincarnate as their leader. Yukito was born to a cult leader who was completely devoted to the deity Mitama. Yukito is sacrificed by the cult in the hopes that he will be reborn as their next leader. Yukito has a sincere desire to be reborn in a place where there is no place for religion. He finds himself in a new world, in a remote village, where he quickly befriends two sisters named Allura and Salurel, as well as two farmers named Klen and Roy. After a few weeks have passed, they travel to the Imperial City in order for Allura and Roy to purchase pornographic magazines. Yukito is present during a public mass suicide, during which he gains the realization that a lack of religious belief results in an absence of fear of death. As a result, when the government decides that citizens are no longer of use or are social deviants, they proudly commit suicide. Yukito was one of the people who participated in the suicide. Everyone in the village, including Allura, is a deviant who chose not to kill themselves out of fear of dying. Due to the fact that Allura possessed a lustful personality, she was labeled a deviant. Yukito finds out that outcasts are subject to execution at any time, and Allura and Salurel are no longer seen. After Salurel has already been executed, Allura and Yukito are both put to death in the course of their rescue attempt for Allura. Yukito prays to Mitama, who manifests as a young girl, as he prepares to pass away for the second time. Mitama has been impatiently waiting for him to summon her as the subsequent cult leader. Mitama is thrilled to be the only god in this brand new world, so he eliminates all of the government soldiers and then resurrects Yukito and Allura. Episode 2. Mitama revives Salurel and other hung deviants. Allura jealously assumes Mitama is Yukito's lover. Yukito asks Mitama about her powers and is devastated to hear she has no powers in this new world. Yukito must convince 10,000 people to worship Mitama and make her a god again before the government sends an army to their community. When Mitama discusses Roy, he becomes her first believer. Yukito's skepticism disappoints Mitama. Mitama's litany of Yukito's childhood embarrassments fails to prove her godliness. Fortune-telling and magic fail to convince the villagers of Yukito. Allura and Salurel believe when Mitama uses Roy's belief to resuscitate Chilchil. Mitama grants Allura's plea to resurrect the innocent soldiers she killed after regaining some power. Mitama resurrects Bertrand as a lady, angering him. Episode 3. Bertrand returns to the Imperial administration, but is rejected as a deviant. Bertrand must accept Yukito's offer to dwell in the hamlet as Mitama's holy knight. Yukito recruits 100 worshippers by granting priority protection from monsters and healing magic. Bertrand, forced by Allura and Salurel to don female attire, tells Yukito that Archons, Emperor-granted warriors, power the Imperial army. Yukito is enchanted by Bertrand's sword, which the Emperor made. Monsters stall Archon Attar's village destruction. Yukito is suddenly motivated by his father's observation that martial arts instruction popularizes most religions. 1 month later, Attar kidnaps Bertrand to find out how he changed gender. Modern wind turbine generators, motorized cars, and industrial-sized farmlands shock Attar. Episode 4. Yukito had Mitama conjure modern technology for his followers. Mitama gained about 2,000 followers. Yukito propagated the idea of exclusivity, which holds that people who believe in God are superior to those who do not. Clem has stated that he is not a deviant, and that he used to work in the Emperor's palace before leaving his position there and moving to the village of deviants. Yukito pondered why gods never appeared to explain catastrophic calamities. Bertrand stated that the Emperor's assembly members explain all such incidents, therefore nothing is unexplainable. Yukito learns Attar has Bertrand. Attar believes modern technology blasphemes the Emperor and assembly. Mitama fights Attar's Archon power with 2,000 believers' power but runs out first. Attar realizes it was an illusion as Clem reveals he is Loki the Archon, a woman in disguise. She recruits Yukito and Mitama to assassinate the Emperor after spying on the community. Episode 5. Loki takes Attar, Yukito, and Mitama to the Emperor, but reveals he is an illusion, and the castle a massive machine dubbed Assembly that governs the Empire with the suicide mechanism to keep it the same. Mitama says religious strife destroyed the planet, and survivors built Assembly to forget religion. Yukito realizes Mitama simply sent him thousands of years into Earth's future after religion faded extinct. Loki proposes destroying Assembly. Yukito mistrusts Loki's motives, so she tells Assembly she learned humans previously had free will. She infiltrated deviant settlements to learn free will, but discovered they were indirectly Assembly-controlled. Yukito arrived with God, the ultimate free-willed being. Loki told another deviant village she was God to get godlike abilities. She and the Archons, except Attar, plan to annihilate Assembly and become gods. Mitama destroys Assembly by growing a large tree under it because Yukito prefers free will. Yukito, recognizing the Archons would make awful gods, promises to assist Mitama vanquish them and become the one true god, surprising Loki. Episode 6. Loki leaves Yukito with powerless Attar. Bertrand accompanies Loki to the Empire to become a man permanently. Attar contemplates suicide until Yukito inspires her to become a god and repair Assembly. Yukito declares Attar their second god, giving her half Mitama's power through sharing believers. Sulurel reveals the Archon Dakini has 10,000 followers and slut priestesses. Yukito, Mitama, Roy, and Allura infiltrate the church as phony believers to steal the 10,000 believers. Chief Slut Rich initiates them at Dakini. Yukito panics as Allura locks him in a room under a violent lust spell for initiation. He resists until Mitama rescues them. Rich orgasms when she enters the room, revealing she is a virgin who doesn't believe in Dakini. Realizing Mitama is a god, she asks her to abolish Dakini's wicked faith. Episode 7. Loki reveals Bertrand's civilization is failing without Assembly. Rich was chief slut because she was a deviant who loved porn and was a sex specialist. Yukito pledges to harm the church, so she approves fraudulent membership. Her disappearance weakens Mitama as her followers revere Attar more.
Yukito has Reach distribute modern sexual knowledge, toys, and pharmaceuticals from Japan, prompting Dakini's followers to adore Richa instead of the absent Dakini. Roy betrays them after Dakini brainwashes him into masturbating. Yukito, Reach, Mitama, and Allura are accused of heresy, but Reach, having been sadistically coached in acting by Yukito, convincingly fakes absolute loyalty to Dakini and begs to be punished at their trial. Dakini's followers approve this because someone so committed to Dakini couldn't be a heretic. Dakini imprisons them to prevent an uprising. Roy leaves them for Dakini. Yukito begins preparing their escape when Dakini's inhumanly powerful, most devoted guardians, the Purgers, enter their cage. Episode 8. Dakini recalls Assembly restricting human love to curb population growth. Humans were infertile and loveless after millennia. Quietly revolting against Assembly, Dakini developed pornography and rekindled affection in some, including Toka, a deviant. Dakini swore to bring love back after Toka was murdered. Attar and Sulurel save Yukito and others from purgers. Over 6,000 Mitama followers worship Attar, who can now vanquish the weakened Dakini. Unfortunately, Dakini still has over 14,000 believers after Richa stole some. Toka's daughter, Riche. Mitama, who borrowed Richa's 1,500 believers, defeats Dakini despite having fewer believers. Roy catches Dakini after Yukito persuades him to betray her. Dakini sobs as Richa's likeness to Toka makes her realize she destroyed human love, not Assembly, and asks for forgiveness.
Episode 9. Reach assumes a false betrayal of Yukito to facilitate Dakini's re-establishment as the church leader. This cunning move allows Yukito and the rest of the group to discreetly make their escape. Consequently, Mitama, along with her devoted followers, finally achieves a significant milestone of amassing 10,000 supporters. However, upon their return to their hometown, they are met with the heart-wrenching sight of the village utterly decimated by rampaging monsters. Despite having only recently regained her godly powers, Mitama selflessly expends her energy in the arduous task of rebuilding the village from scratch. In an unexpected turn of events, Archon Gaia, the overseer of these monstrous creatures, emerges and clarifies that the devastation inflicted upon the village was an unfortunate accident. Gaia reveals her own vulnerability. The group embarks on a visit to the city, only to be confronted with Loki's imposing barrier walls surrounding it. Amidst the turmoil, Bertrand, still plagued by the torment of her female form. Loki, commanding near-ultimate power with a staggering 1,120,000 followers, finds herself perplexed when Yukito laughs at the seemingly vast number and promptly departs. Back at the village, Yukito experiences a wave of relief. In a surprising revelation, Bertrand discloses that society has already rebounded and is operating under Loki's reign, resembling the governance of the Assembly, but with Loki as the reigning emperor. Yukito has an epiphany, realizing that Loki's followers likely retain remnants of loyalty to the previous emperor.
Episode 10. Since Assembly removed all music, Yukito forms an idol group with Sulurel, Allura, Gaia, and Attar. Yukito says Mitama's power depends on both number of followers and depth of devotion. Thus, a god with less followers may overcome Loki if her followers are more devout, and music has made Mitama's followers more devout. Yukito sends Bertrand to spy on mysterious Gaia, who has adopted several youngsters as her little dedicated followers. Yukito crushes Gaia because a child's love for a parent is infinite and deadly. Bertrand molests Yukito after falling for him. To Bertrand's horror, Dakini's prank confirms he's accepting his feminine body and mentality. Dakini loves music since her fans play it during intercourse. Yukito keeps Gaia occupied with idol training, allowing Dakini to make the youngsters love her to save them from her plots. Kai and Kyan, the oldest children, are devoted to Gaia and can control creatures to attack Dakini. And that's a wrap for today's video. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of Kamikatsu with me. If you found this video entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Anime Beast for more amazing content like this. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and stay awesome.